How to tell if someone had a near-death experience or a hallucination. Ladies and gentlemen, for generations humans have asked one question that cuts to the very center of our existence. What happens when we die? Today I'd like to explore a closely related question, one that thousands of people around the world wrestle with. How do we tell if a person has truly experienced a near-death journey into the afterlife, or if what they experienced was a hallucination produced by a brain under extreme stress? This is not just a scientific question, it is a human one, filled with mystery, emotion, fear, hope, and meaning. Let's approach it with gentleness and humility. Part 1. Near-death experiences are real to the people who have them. Across cultures and centuries, people who come close to death report similar experiences. Leaving the body, moving through a tunnel, meeting deceased relatives, entering a realm of light, feeling overwhelming peace, seeing their life's events flash before them, being told it isn't your time yet. These stories come from Christians, Muslims, atheists, children, surgeons, soldiers, and the elderly. The similarities are striking, but the brain under oxygen loss, trauma, anesthesia, electrical surges, or cardiac arrest can also produce vivid sensory distortions, dreamlike states, fragmented memories, terrifying hallucinations, time distortion, disconnection from the body. So how do we begin to differentiate one from the other? Part 2. The context. What was happening in the body? When evaluating an experience, the first question is, what was the person's physical condition at the time? Near-death experiences typically happen during cardiac arrest, severe blood loss, drowning, traumatic injury, anesthesia complications, respiratory failure. Hallucinations often occur during high fever, delirium, drug reactions, sleep deprivation, certain mental health conditions. Both can be intense, but the closer someone was to literal clinical death, the more likely the experience was a near-death experience. Near-death experiences tend to happen when brain activity should be shutting down, not ramping up. That is significant. Part 3. The emotional tone and aftermath. This is one of the clearest distinctions. Near-death experiences typically bring profound peace, a sense of unconditional love, the loss of fear of death, clarity, increased empathy, decreased materialism, a feeling of purpose, spiritual awakening, long-term positive change. Hallucinations typically bring confusion, fear or panic, disorientation, disturbing imagery, paranoia, emotional instability. Little or no long-term positive change. Near-death experience survivors often say, "It changed my life forever." Hallucination survivors usually say, "I don't know what that was, but something felt wrong." The impact can reveal the origin. Part 4. The coherence and content. Near-death experiences tend to have a beginning, middle, and end. Like a meaningful story, they are organized, symbolic, and consistent. People often report meeting guides, life review, luminous landscapes, purposeful messages. Hallucinations, in contrast, are often fragmented, chaotic, nonsensical, erratic in imagery, disconnected from personal meaning. Near-death experiences resemble a profound narrative. Hallucinations resemble a dream that is slipping away. Part 5. Perception and memory quality. Near-death experience memories tend to be incredibly vivid, emotionally powerful, remembered for decades, resistant to fading. Hallucinations tend to be distorted, incomplete, quickly forgotten, inconsistent over time. Some neuroscientists say near-death experience memories resemble real-life memories, not dream memories. This is an important difference. Part 6. Information and insight. One of the most debated distinctions is this: did the person know something they could not possibly have known? Examples include describing events in the hospital while unconscious, identifying people they never met, recalling exact details of the resuscitation, seeing objects from above their own body. These are known as veridical perceptions, and while rare, they are documented. Hallucinations almost never produce accurate external knowledge. If the experience contains verifiable information, we lean toward near-death experience, not hallucination. Part 7. Psychological and spiritual integration. Near-death experience survivors usually experience long-term outcomes such as increased compassion, reduced depression, reduced fear of death, desire to serve others, more life, re-evaluation, heightened spirituality, improved relationships. Hallucinations rarely produce such stable, positive transformation. If an experience becomes a cornerstone of someone's life in a grounded, healthy way, that's a sign of meaningful spiritual impact, not pathology. Part 8. Cultural and personal fit. Near-death experiences often match the person's culture or belief system. Christians may see Jesus, Muslims may see light or angels, atheists may feel overwhelming love, children may see deceased pets or relatives. Hallucinations are often bizarre, frightening, and completely out of sync with personal beliefs. A peaceful experience that fits someone's worldview leans towards near-death experience. Part 9. The line is thin and it requires compassion. Not every experience fits perfectly into one category. Some have elements of both. The key is not to label someone, but to ask, did it help them grow? Did it give them peace? Did it leave them more connected to others? Does it complement a healthy life? If yes, then regardless of cause, it deserves respect. If the experience causes fear, paranoia, or disconnection, it deserves care and support. This isn't about proving or disproving the afterlife. It's about understanding the human experience with compassion. Conclusion. We stand at the intersection of mystery and medicine. So how do you tell if someone had a true near-death experience or a hallucination? You look at the physical condition, the emotional tone, the organization of the experience, the long-term effects, the consistency with their beliefs, the presence or absence of fear, the memory quality, whether the experience enriches or derails their life, and the presence of verifiable details. In the end, near-death experiences remind us that life is fragile, consciousness is mysterious, and the boundary between this world and whatever lies beyond is very, very thin. Thank you.